In this video, we're going to be looking at a rebind of a Bible very similar to this. And this is already a really nice Bible, the Legacy Standard Bible, handy size. This is in a top grain cowhide, I think is the cover here. And no yap, a couple of narrow ribbons. This one has thumb indexes for the books of the Bible. And it's a really nicely made Bible. This is one of the ones that was printed in the Netherlands, so the paper on this is really nice. But someone has taken a Bible similar to this and had it upgraded. This is not my rebind. This is actually a viewer of my channel named Max, who had this Bible from SDG Rebinds, Rebound for him, in green Tissot leather. So it's a Tissot goat skin, an improvement on something like this. And you can see also this has a nearly full yap to it. So that overhang of the leather almost touches, which adds a lot of protection to this Bible, which is another improvement. Now you can see that the edges are a little different. The Bible that Max has does not have thumb indexes. And some people actually prefer not to have them because they just like the clean look without the thumb indexes. So I have both kinds of Bibles. I like both. But this looks really nice. Also, the spine is stamped with a copper gold stamping, and it also has tooled spine hubs. It's just a very old school classic look. It has a very handmade look to it, which it is. It's really hand done when you get a rebind like this. He also has the Jerusalem cross on the bottom of the spine. And there is a double tooled perimeter here. So that reminds me a little bit of some of the Allen Bibles. Then on the inside here, you see this has a brown, this is actually a lambskin liner, brown lambskin, and then that copper gold gilt line framing the text. And he put a brown end sheet in here, which also looks a lot like what I've seen in some Allen Bibles. I think this looks very similar to some of the Allen Bibles. And then this is edge line now. The one that I have was just a paste down construction. So you could take something like this and really upgrade it to something more like this. Also, he has 3 Beresford ribbons. So you have that green cover, and then you have some ribbons that really have a nice color scheme to them. You have a brown one, a purple, and green ribbon. Then the page edges still have gold on them, but you have this, I think he called it vermilion red under the gold, which is a very vibrant red compared to the original Bible, which had a more subtle red to it. And then the head and tail bands are white, and you can see that the ribbons were placed in very nicely. So SDG Rebinds, I've never actually held one of their rebinds before. I've never seen one in person. And I have to say it's just absolutely fantastic, which is honestly what I would have expected just seeing pictures online and knowing the kind of work that Vitali does. And sure enough, seeing it in person, it really does look fantastic. So, I mean, you're just getting the best materials and the best craftsmanship in a Bible like this. And you can see the corners here. Absolutely beautiful. Excellent job on the gilt line. The stamping looks really good. And also the way that he did the art gilt, that looks really cleanly done. Those are the kinds of things that you want to look for in a rebinder, someone who can just really do things in a way that looks professional and clean and meticulous. a lot of attention to detail. And so you really see that with this. And of course, getting the kind of leather you want is a real plus with a rebind. This Sakota goatskin, it's one of people's favorites because of its grain patterns, and it's just of really high quality. And then getting a lambskin liner, and just beautiful, beautiful materials in this Bible. And of course, the text block, the LSB text block, you have some cardstock pages at the front here. And then you have what I call the wrinkle page. These always wrinkle up. And then here we have the title page. And the copyright information. So you see this is from 2021. And I believe this is one of the Netherlands printed Bibles from the first edition. So this is just a wonderful text block. It's a great size. It's about 6 by 9 inches in size. Let me just check on that. It's actually about 8 3/4 by maybe 5 1/4 inches. That's the text block size, but with a cover, it's going to be a little bit bigger than that. So I have actually reviewed this Bible. I don't feel like I need to necessarily talk about everything in here in detail, but they call it the handy size. It's not necessarily like a small Bible that you would just, fit in your pocket or something. It's not a compact, but yeah, I mean, it is definitely a Bible you can hold. It still actually has margin space. And one of the best features, a lot of people like this, is just that single column, verse by verse format. It's printed very nicely. Like I said, I think this one was printed in the Netherlands. So really good paper, really good print quality overall. And when you look at it with those new features that Vitaly has put on with the color scheme and the materials, I mean, you've taken a great Bible, something like this, and that looks nice. But I mean, you've really personalized it and stepped it up a notch with a rebind like this. So the poetry looks great in these Bibles. If you're not familiar with the Legacy Standard Bible, it's basically an update of the New American Standard Bible by faculty from Master's Seminary and College with John MacArthur. And they are coming out with more editions as time goes on, but the handy size, I think, was the first edition that they came out with. And it is really nice. Like I said, the formatting is just wonderful. And I think the print on this is like a 9.5. You see it's a black letter text in the New Testament. So it's a good enough size print that you can read this pretty easily. Most people can. And yet you still have some margin space, and you can still carry it quite easily. In the back of the Bible, you have monetary units, weights and measures, and then you have this interesting note paper. I think they call it dot matrix. It's just the dots on the page, which allows you to kind of format the page however you want to, write on it however you want to. So you get quite a few note pages in the back here, but no maps or anything, just more blank cardstock in the back. And then you also have on this rebind, SDG Rebinds, Soli Deo Gloria, I think is what that stands for, rebinds. So excellent, beautiful example of a high-quality rebind. Vitaly just does amazing work, I can tell. So this is one of the rebinders you want to check into. If you really want a good quality rebind, definitely check out his stuff. He's taken this handy size LSB and upgraded it. And the great thing about rebinding is you can take all different text blocks. And it might be a text block you've had for a long time that you want to preserve, or it might be something that there's just something about the Bible that maybe isn't to your liking. Maybe it doesn't have the highest quality cover to it, and you want to make it last a lot longer. And of course, have the colors and the materials that are to your specific liking. So great option, and it's something that's becoming more and more popular, more and more widespread, people getting their Bibles rebound. If you have any questions or comments about this Bible, please leave that in the comments section below. But thank you so much for taking a look at this beautiful Bible with me from A Frisch Perspective.